Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. I gave you a Saturday morning update. Just had three customers come and go. The first two brought me units to trade. The last guy did not have one. He had a lawn service. He had decided to dump the service, I guess, was what the deal was. So he took a unit for 120, I think a 21-inch cut. So the first guy out brought me this PowerSmart. He had sent a picture of it. I said $20. So he had took a unit that I had 140 on it. So he gave me this in 120 cash. Nice couple drove down from St. Petersburg, an hour away. I said, couldn't you find anything up in St. Pete? He said everything they messaged, the sellers said that they had sold it or people were on the way to buy the units, so he came an hour south. He ended up buying the Mangler. I had the Mangler listed here for 130. He thought it was cool, the Mangler, and he said, what will you give me for this Toro? The Toro is a 2006, the model 20064. 20064. And I said, since you drove an hour one way, I'll give you 50 trade value for this Turo, and we'll do another video on that. I think this will be easily rectified, and this will be a $150 unit when it's up and running. So let's discuss this power crap. I should have brought my two turds out, but I forgot to. 2019 on the power crap. Didn't really look at it. This guy and his buddy unloaded it and pushed it over here. So I go to move it, notice that the plug wires off. I don't know if they did that when they were transporting it, but he said they didn't know why it wouldn't start. Go to move it and the whole handle comes up like that, which it shouldn't. It pulled through the plastic. I can rectify that with a couple of washers, I think, from down below. Didn't notice that. So that was a little hidden gem. The handle's screwed up. So I started looking this thing over, went to look at the oil, and it was down at the bottom hole here, very bottom. So I put junk oil in it here just to see what it'll do. So I ended up taking the plug out just to see what the plug looked like. It's a Torch brand and it had a bunch of carbon buildup on it. I ground it out against the overhead valve and we have a spark. I just kicked the front wheel. It's got a full tank of gas. I see a bunch of oil spilled here. I don't know what this is all about. Did they lose all the oil in the crankcase transporting it? Trying to get this stupid cover off. Anyway, the filter's got some dirt on it, so the filter was working, some grass right there. So I don't know if they burnt this thing up by running it low on oil. It probably could have survived at the bottom hole, but you're taking a chance, especially when it's a power crap. The more oil, the better. This thing needs every little bit of help that it can get, since it's doomed from the factory to begin with, 2019. So I grilled him about gas. I think he said he had old gas, because I was more concerned with what I sold him than this one. He says, oh, I think I Just filled it. I says, I want to know what kind of gas you have for the unit you just bought. So maximum 10% ethanol. They should put ethanol free on this. I'm going to tilt the mower back, try to get a sample here. See if he was dealing with shitty gas. Trying to see if there's a layer. I think there is a layer down there at the bottom. There is debris and maybe a slight bit of water. So what do you say we try juicing it, see if it fires off at least? Maybe this sample will settle down by then, but there is a bunch of debris and I think a little bit of water. There. So what we could do is actually drop the bowl nut and see if there's any water. Let's juice this first. We're going to make it happy. So if I can get this running for 20, I'd be happy, but I don't know if they destroyed the engine. If so, I can use the recoil, the magneto. I need another magneto for a couple other projects, and the carburetor. And these covers as well get lost. So I'm happy for 20 if it's just going to be a parts unit for me. I'm not going to cry over that. Trade in. So healthy dose, that should have been enough to get this to fire. Let me pull on the turd. So 3 sales, I'm pretty happy so far today. Oh, seems like the front end's jumping up and down. I kind of glanced at the blade. Blade is well used. I don't know if they struck something. Maybe the timing's off. Okay, we're not getting shit. I hear clunking, but I think that's the compression release on these shit boxes. They make a lot of noise. Who knows? It could be connecting rod bearings banging, but I think that's their compression release noise. I'm just going to take the plug out, see if there's more gooberish junk on the plug. Check for spark again here, ground this out. It should have fired off with that motivation. If not, I'm not going to spend much time on this. Plug is wet and I can smell the happy juice. So it didn't ignite. We got weak compression. We got spark. It's sparking. I'm going to tip this thing on its tippy toes. And I almost kicked you in the head. I'm just going to turn this over a few times, see if there's any junk in the cylinder. Okay, I didn't see anything come out. I'm going to blast some compressed air in here. I don't know why this thing isn't kicking off. I might grab a 10mm opening wrench and just drop the bowl here real quick. Just go to the source, make sure the bowl is in 100% water, then we know why we're having shitty luck.